Have you ever been in a situation where a boss says, we just need to be more agile, and then uses that as a blank check for last-minute chaotic changes? The word agile is supposed to be all about flexibility and smart adaptation, but when you're dealing with physical gear, heavy equipment, and deadlines that are set in stone, that word can start to feel like an excuse for chaos. So let's get into why this happens and what it really costs. Just listen to this. This is a true story from a live event producer. Picture this. You've got dignitaries lined up, the media's cameras are ready to roll, and the CEO walks in 10 minutes to showtime and wants the entire stage moved. Needless to say, that event did not start on time. And you know the most frustrating part? It's the incredibly skilled crew, the technicians, who end up looking bad when these impossible requests can't be pulled out of a hat. And look, this isn't just a one-off horror story. It points to a much bigger problem, one that has a very real and very measurable cost. See, every single time your team is forced to drop what they're doing for some new urgent request, they're paying a hidden tax on their productivity.
It's a thing called context switching, and it's basically like hitting the reset button on your brain over and over again. By the time you get back to what you were originally working on, you have to waste precious minutes just trying to remember where you were. It is an absolute productivity killer.
And this isn't just a feeling, right? It's backed by research. Studies show it can take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes just to get back into that state of deep focus, what people call flow, after just one major interruption. Now imagine that happening 5, 6, 7 times a day. The cost really starts to stack up. So, how much does it cost? Well, some studies suggest that constantly switching tasks can inflate the time it takes to finish your original job by around 20%. Think about that for a second. That one quick question or tiny change could be making your project a fifth longer than it needs to be. And a Reddit user really just hit the nail on the head with this one. Context switching is the hidden tax nobody talks about. These interruptions aren't just little annoyances. They're a direct, invisible drain on your team's time, their energy, and honestly, their morale. Okay, so this tension, this clash between last-minute demands and trying to get focus work done, it really boils down to two fundamentally different philosophies for how to approach a project. On one side, you have the rigid plan, and on the other, you have flexible evolution. And this image shows it perfectly. On the left, that's the waterfall method. It's a straight line, a step-by-step process where you have to finish one phase completely before you can even think about starting the next. Then on the right, you've got Agile, which is all about a continuous loop of designing, testing, and tweaking as you go. So waterfall is amazing for projects where the rules are clear from day one. Think construction or manufacturing a physical product. You can't really change the foundation of a building after you've put up the walls, right? Agile, on the other hand, was born for projects where the needs are constantly changing, like software development, where getting feedback and adapting on the fly is the whole point. And this brings us right to the heart of the problem. What happens when you try to apply the philosophy of one to the hard reality of the other? Well, you get a complete and total disconnect. The Agile mindset is screaming, change is welcome. But the waterfall reality of that live event is saying, dude, the stage is physically bolted to the floor. The desire to iterate quickly slams headfirst into the fact that the lighting rig takes a full 8 hours to build. You simply can't respond to feedback when all the power cables are already run and locked in place. An IT team member described this frustration perfectly. See, in operational roles like IT support or live event production, you can't just move a big disruption to the next sprint. When something breaks, it's an all-hands-on-deck, drop-everything-right-now problem that throws the entire plan out the window. So let's be clear. The problem isn't the idea of being agile. The real issue is when people take a very specific software framework, like Scrum, and try to force it onto work it was never designed for. Those rigid work cycles, or sprints in Scrum, can be a disaster when they collide with the unpredictable, reactive nature of running a live event or just keeping a business's daily operations afloat. So, if you're stuck in one of these roles, what do you do? How do you possibly manage this constant flood of last-minute changes and protect not just your plan, but your team's sanity? Well, the solution is all about building a protective framework around your work from the very beginning. It starts with proactive communication, making sure everyone understands the real cost and ripple effects of their requests. It means having a formal approval process, so changes aren't just made on a whim. And, this is crucial, It means having clear service level agreements, or SLAs, that spell out expectations and a documented change control strategy before the project even kicks off.
And remember, the goal here isn't to be a roadblock or to just say no to everything. As project manager Ajinkya Ponse puts it, it's about creating a partnership. When everyone understands the true cost of a change in time, in money, in resources, then you can make smart decisions together. So this all leaves us with one final and I think really critical question to ask yourself. Is your team truly being agile, or are they just dealing with unplanned chaos? Because real agility is about intelligent adaptation within a structure. Everything else, well, it's just a failure to plan. And knowing the difference is the key to protecting your projects and, more importantly, your people.